our hair is energy. Our hair holds a lot of energy, and the way that we style it, the way that we manipulate it is important. Whoever you let touch your hair is also important. I don't like people touching my hair because I could literally feel that person's energy, and I don't know who this person is, especially if it's a stranger. I don't really feel comfortable people touching my hair unless I'm close with them. That's the way that energy transfers, and that's why I believe that hair does have energy. So the way that we style it, especially if it's in locks, it doesn't allow us to be as vulnerable compared to if I had my afro out. You may think locks is just a hairstyle if it's just like something that you got because you want to try something new, or you didn't want to manipulate your hair so much. If your reasoning for getting locks is just for a style, for a hairstyle, most likely you're not going to understand what I'm going to say, like spiritually. That you'll feel different because your reasoning for getting locks was to better yourself, to lead yourself more to wisdom, lead yourself to awareness, to connect to the universe or to God, whatever you believe in. Basically, it's a part of your identity.
This
is my identity,
man. Yeah, this is my identity.
But if y'all didn't know, Bob Marley was a Rasta. I don't know if y'all know from his music, he does talk about that he was a Rasta man. I don't even know if this is the origin, but there's a lot of Jamaicans, they used to say Rasta, Rasta, Rasta all the time. Jamaicans always used to say the word Rasta. I'm like, why are they saying that so much? Is this like a slang? I mainly hear Jamaicans say Rasta, I'm a Rasta man, and I never understood what that meant. A lot of people think Rastafari is like a religion, but it's not a religion. It's basically very similar to spirituality.
Divine liberty, it doesn't just carry a man, you put on your dread because you feel you put it on. But you must know your cause and purpose why you are put it on. Whenever time that you put on your dread, you must know that you're the one that is here to edify another one. Live a clean life among the people. You must be a person of a loving spirit. For locks mean love. Locks don't mean hatred.
The deep meaning about locks and being a Rasta, it helps you with freedom. It don't matter even if it's messy, as long as your hair is locked, that shows that you are spiritually open, you're aware, you have wisdom. But not every person with locks has wisdom. It's very important about the reasoning why this person has locks. People get locks for different reasons. There's a lot of dumb people with locks, but there's a lot of smart people with locks. Basically, a Rastafarian is a person who believes in nature. They believe in basically spirituality. Like how I talk to y'all about spirituality is very similar to the Rastafarian and Hinduism and Buddhism and even Taoism. It's all very similar. All these religions are very similar, but for Rastafarian, they grow out their locks because they know that show as like a sign of they're free. Like for example, if I just left my hair out like this and I didn't do anything, I just left it in the afro, didn't comb it at all, it would lock up because that's naturally what your hair wants to do. My hair is coily and it naturally locks up when I don't comb it or do nothing to it. The thing about locks is that it's very much criticized in the black community. When you have locks, my mama even be telling me, oh, if you ever get a man with locks, Jazz, he's just gonna be bad for you. He's probably like a crackhead. He does drugs and all that. Like, I don't know why black people always say, oh my gosh, everybody, a person with locks does drugs. Like, bro, how does their hairstyle affect? How do you judge a person off of their hairstyle? There's a lot of stereotypes about it. It's a lot of stereotypes that people, oh, you get locks, you're ghetto and all of that. But a lot of people who will say that, they don't even understand the real meaning about locks. Locks is supposed to lead you to wisdom. Locks is supposed to make you spiritually stronger. And the people who say, oh my gosh, when you get locks, you're just doing drugs, you're gonna be like an alcoholic and all that. People are so quick to judge things that can actually help you, judge things that they don't understand. Meanwhile, locks, spirituality are things that can change a person, not in a negative way, but just, I don't know, y'all. That's just something that kind of ticks me off too about like people saying judgments about locks, but they don't even understand for real. When you have locks, you're keeping every single hair piece that you have in. Well, not every single hair piece, but you lose less hair. When you comb your hair, like if it's out all the time, you're gonna be more prone to breakage. Your hair's constantly falling out. It's not gonna grow. But I know if my hair grew very long, my energy will be so much more higher. My wisdom will be so high too, because I'm keeping all of my hair intact, and it's not going anywhere. The reason I don't want to lock my hair is because I love my afro, and I'll be like, oh, I miss my afro every time I get braids, so I can't really stick to being a lock girly. So locks are very cute. I do want them one day. But the thing about locks, when you get breakage, when your hair constantly falls out, you're losing energy. You're losing all that. It's like a tree that constantly is losing its leaves. So when you lock your hair gets stronger. It's not meant to be taken out. It's just meant to grow like that. And I feel like when people cut off their hair when they're going through like a meltdown or a heartbreak, whatever, that's them removing the memories and all that they remembered during whatever times they were going through. And really, you shouldn't do that because you're also losing your energy too. Also, another thing, y'all, anybody can get locks. It don't matter what race you are. It don't matter if you're Spanish or white. I've seen a lot of white people, they had locks. Some people may say, oh, they don't look right. You know, locks originated from black people, but they can get locks. Locks also keeps their energy intact too, instead of combing it, brushing it, and losing all that hair. They are also Rastafarians too. Rastas believed in a god. They referred him to Jah, which was short for Jehovah. It's kind of similar to Christianity as well. I don't know much about how they talk to the god or how they do anything to worship this god, but I think it's very similar to Christianity, but correct me if I'm wrong. I didn't do all my research, but I do know some about it.
Diet for Rastafarian.
Just food, herbs and vegetables.
What about fish?
No, not with face. Not with face.
Got it.
Yeah. No dead flesh. Not supposed to go in there alive, goodie. This is a live temple of the Most High Jah, Rastafari, where you're supposed to just eat natural. Because what? The food shall be your medicine, and your medicine shall be your food.
And Rastas, they live in a way that keeps them healthy, so they live long. They eat healthy. They don't eat dead meat because they feel like their body is very electromagnetic. Our body has energy, and if we're putting dead meat inside of us, then our energy just decreases. And I kind of believe that this is true too. Anytime I eat meat, I usually feel less motivated. I feel very tired after I eat meat. The whole Rasta thing, I don't even know if I should call it a culture, but I think it's all very beautiful. The way that people grow out their locks, even if it's in different ways, just because a person has locks doesn't mean that they're automatically dirty or whatever. The reason a person may be dirty if they have locks is if they don't take care of it. If they think that, oh, it's low maintenance, they don't have to wash it or do anything. No, you still have to take care of it, but it's just locked. It's less work, but you still have to take care of it. But with Rastas, they grew their hair out however the locks grew. And they were like, this is relating to our own freedom. This is how we show that we are free beings and we don't have to be trapped manipulating our hair the same way that they manipulate the body, manipulate their soul. Expressing yourself freely without any restraints. And this is how they show it through the locks, through their hair. But there was a time where I did have locks, but they weren't like my locks. They were butterfly locks. And a lot of people get locks with reattachments, even with reattachments from somebody else's previous locks. I feel like reattaching locks, especially if it's not your own hair, can be risky because you're going to be vulnerable to feel that other person's energy, their data, their whatever that they had while they were growing out their locks. Even if you have fake locks, it's not really real because most locks are made by synthetic materials and not really human hair. Well, like butterfly locks that I had in my hair. So really it's not going to do any change except make your hair look pretty. But y'all ever see videos where people reattach their locks after it falls off? I feel like it doesn't really give the same effect as if you're growing it out from the first state, because it's like not gonna be the same. Like you're not gonna have the same energy as you would if you grew out your hair. That's like reattaching a tree branch to a tree that you just cut off. Like it's not gonna be real. You're not gonna feel the same benefits. So it's the difference, y'all, from reattaching your locks. But if you just want it for show, that's different. But reattaching your lock, trying to get the spiritual benefits, isn't gonna work. But if it's one lock, it may not do much. It may not be much of a difference because it's only one lock. But as long as you have the rest of your hair growing out, if one lock goes off, okay. Locks are really not for one culture. It's for all cultures. And mainly I just wanted to tell y'all, like, spiritually, locks can change you physically, mentally, spiritually. And all lock styles are different. Free forms, twists, whatever. I don't even know all the lock styles, but I know they're all different. Also, there's another important reason about locks. Saying dreadlocks and not locks is a very different meaning, because dreadlocks were not supposed to be called dreadlocks. The meaning of dread is something that's dreadful, that's not, it's kind of not positive. So why are you saying that your hair is dreadful? Why are you putting that energy upon your hair, saying it's dreadful or is dreading? Like, no, I think that name was made by a white man. Yeah, because no, why are you saying that the hair is dreadful? But anyways, you shouldn't say dread because you're putting that And words have energy too, y'all. That's what Rastas also talk about. You shouldn't say that your hair is dread. Even though you're not saying it in a way like, oh, my hair dread. You may not realize it, but you're putting that on your hair. You're putting that on yourself in your mind. Your subconscious mind believes whatever you tell it. And you're telling yourself that your hair is dreads. The meaning of dreads is something that's not positive. So really, that's why I say locks, y'all. I say locks because I don't want to say dreads. I don't want to say locks. Because they say that words do have strong power. Like, they don't say hello. They say greetings. They say something else that's like hell and low. So like it's a lot. They speak differently. It's like they speak a different language. I feel like I'm rambling. I don't know what I'm talking about anymore. But I'm trying to make sense, y'all. It's a lot of information. But I'm gonna end the video. Thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe. Check out my ebook in the description below. Yeah, how to quiet your mind and follow intuition. I'm gonna end the video, y'all. Jazz is out. Bye.